And we're live. Hi everyone, this is amateurgamer, and I'll be returning to Beyond All Reason cast. Now we're on Altair Crossing version 4.1. We have a 2v2. On the left, we have Kairos as blue, River Sand as green, and on the right side, we have, I just call it Voice as red, and Rob as yellow. So looking at this map, I don't know if these are standard spawns, though looking at this, there's only 2 locations for metal extractors. Is that the case for both sides? Yeah, it seems mostly mirrored. So we have some high ground with some metal sites. Someone's on the side. The difference from our last 2v2 is that there are a couple different avenues that players can go through, so there's that. Let's speed it up because I'm not expecting a lot early on. So I am interested by the fact that you have a 3 metal start and then you have 2. I mean, it's not end of the world, but I do think you will feel it when you don't have. But to be fair, we have seen battles where players have had 2 metal extractors for a long time. At the moment, let's slow it down in case I miss things. We are seeing a construction vehicle already. For green, nothing for blue. Yellow has went for bot lab. Seems like a few grunts. I'm not sure if it's for scouting purposes or for what. Red is also going for bot lab. Blue is content building some guards. I don't know if these are great for defending these metal extractors on the edge. But anyways, you see these rascals trying to find an opening. They are going to get intercepted. And that's pretty much it for the harass. We're seeing a guard already. If the right side scout or even have a radar. Do they have a radar? Are they planning on going for radar? Doesn't seem like it. Guards are okay until they get outnumbered by units like pawns, and then they don't quite work as well. So finally we see a bot lab for blue. It's pretty delayed. Feels pretty delayed. We see a pounder. That is quite interesting. A pounder is not the easiest thing for... Are they actually gonna go engage? They have a lot of DPS, so honestly, oh, that surprised me. I thought they were gonna do more than that. So let's see. There's a construction vehicle. Nobody's using these rocks. 80 metal is a fair bit of resources. And it looks like yellow is just sending in some grunts to help. Yeah, with all of these numbers, honestly, even for a pounder is going to be too much. That construction vehicle is gonna go down. Is it worth it? I guess in a way, because it does deny green the ability to control the center a bit better. But really, nobody's really fighting for the center. What is this man doing? I actually can't tell. Energy converter, okay. So we are seeing some harassment, but I'm not expecting much. That's a very safe radar tower. It's in very deep and friendly territory. And yeah, that's the thing about... Wait, is it... I think it's pawns? Some that have very limited range, but their DPS is pretty nuts. They're allowed to do what they need to do. But yeah, against 4 of these, the pawns just don't quite cut it. We see another sentry. Now the question is, does yellow... I think that guard is a bit too far back. They also have some thugs, so they might be mostly fine. I mean, I wasn't sending grunts against scissors. Are they trying to see if they could destroy any metal extractor? Because yellow haven't expanded in that direction yet. We see a bunch of grunts forming the front line. Blue is trying to expand to these other metal sites. We are seeing a bot lab. That's interesting. I'm actually quite curious why they went for that. I don't know if that's a very good choice over there. Pop-up flamethrower. Yeah, these grunts, ooh, they do outnumber them by a lot. So we'll see if yellow might have to kite, especially when blue also have aggravators. Those rockets are going to pose a bit of a threat. We see some pawns. Are they trying to raid, or... I mean, blue is responding. Blue is like, I see red going there. Yeah, that's not a great trade regardless how you see it. So right now, blue is definitely relying on plenty of grunts to kind of have better map control. You see some aggravators from yellow, but if they don't have enough support... See, right now it feels like blue has a fairly big numerical advantage. And yellow and red are kind of like challenging them piecemeal. So I'm so surprised by this move of a bot lab. Maybe they want something cheap. Wait, what are they producing? Artillery? Did they cancel it? I'm so confused. Honestly, at this point, I mean, we saw in the last 2v2 I done where one mistake is always gonna take to give your opponent an opening to basically get victory. So we will have to see. Right now, in terms of economy, I do think blue could benefit from just having a lot, like, build a radar in a more forward position, because this gives them a lot of valuable information. Yeah, honestly, if they put one here, they'll have some idea of enemy deployment. Because if they can take out these metal extractors, yellow's economy will be limited. Now red is finding an opportunity. So remember that very defensive radar tower I was talking about? I think it can pay off. So for these guys, they will need to kite. They don't want to get close. Yeah, you don't want to lose in scissor tanks by just charging them into a bunch of pawns. That's just not great. And right now, yellow has recognized that blue is sandwiched in between, so they're making a push. It does feel like they're kind of going to a meat grind if they do keep pushing forward like that. We do have some skirmishes. Yeah, there's definitely quite a bit of resources in the center of the map if they do go in that direction. The question is, are these grunts gonna do anything? So yes, the right side does need to push, but a bad push will only result in them providing a lot of resources to the enemy, and some of these rockets, you're like, oof. Some of these rockets are coming pretty close. energy. And I did notice that these geysers, I think they're called geysers, are in the center. So I wonder if at this point, I mean, blue is definitely harassing red a lot. And if they're not careful, yellow might be able to sandwich them. Oh, that's... some of those rocket hits were really good. And it does feel like blue might have chewed more than they can handle. See? This is the thing you have to do if you want to control the center. You gotta actually build up defenses. At least have a location to fall back to. But if your opponent could just use rocket or artillery, then it's definitely I mean, ultimately it's map control, right? Even if you don't quite get a good return from your defenses, just having more room to breathe and work from there is probably worth it. So right now it does look like, I mean, yeah, that radar tail will give them a lot of information, but at the same time, is yellow's producing a lot of grunts. So in some ways it does feel like if blue does push heavily towards this location, yellow is in danger. And the biggest thing is, if yellow isn't careful, their commander would be in a lot of danger because this is really close. And this seems to be the bulk of blue's forces. So there are some pawns coming in from the south, but they have been dispatched pretty quickly. I mean, none of these units are great at like taking down a commander. And from the looks of it, yeah, green is actively trying to resurrect, especially these defenses. They're great to resurrect because now suddenly you're turning these position in your favor. Ooh, yellow is building an agitator up top, which is actually great if they could finish. I'm surprised that Rioter could actually see that far up. And all of these wrecks are giving green a ton of metal to work with. That's a lot of riot tanks. Like, that is a scary amount. And red's commander is actually moving forward. So if green can make a proper push here, it's gonna turn out very poorly. And meanwhile, we see red trying to make use of the high ground. They're trying to make use of the high ground. That is good. I wonder if blue is probing for weaknesses or actually like trying to do some damage, because right now it feels like the left side is a little undecided. They're kind of unsure how they should approach, because right now green is split up. Green sends some units to top, some to the bottom. I wouldn't say that's the best approach. And by being indecisive, these riot tanks are really taking a hit. But it does feel like the left side... Well, I did say earlier, if you send your commander up forward... Oh, they have a few brutes as well. I thought it was all pounders. Now, right side is in trouble because Losing a commander at this point is huge. Green, yeah, by basically salvaging a lot of the resources in the center, they now have a big number. Now the question is, will they make the mistake of pushing too aggressively? And honestly, it looks like they're doing just fine. Even if this attack fail, the damage might have been not if they're kind of indecisive there. Oh, there's the other commander going. Alright. So, what can we conclude from this? Uh Initially there was no real winner. And Green really took off after using their grave robbers to resurrect or salvage various is it reclaim? Oh, sorry, reclaim. Sorry. By salvaging and resurrecting units, Green was able to produce numbers that were just faster than the other side, right? Because both sides economy are more or less the same. It's not that different. The only difference is Green got a huge injection of metal, which allowed them to produce units a lot faster because they had the resources. And they were able to utilize that, especially picking off. Like, the moment Red's commander was picked off, it was kind of over because Red could keep trying, but without the build power of the commander, it's really hard holding off an opponent whose numbers have grown. Like, while Green was inflicting on that damage, Blue has been rebuilding. Like, we can clearly see that with all the thugs that they have brought in. And Blue has also been busy building more metal extractors on the high ground. Most efficient use of resources. Really, it was yellow. I guess that's true. They were able to inflict the most damage. If they were able to produce more, that might have the outcome might have been different. Destroy enemy units, yeah, green. Destroy enemy resources. Did nobody else destroy metal extractors? I am surprised. So green is the only one who pushed forward, produced the most resources. Yellow took the most damage. Yellow was also most active. But yeah, remember to reclaim Rex because those can play a big role in your battles. It's just a huge injection of resources that could make all the difference as we saw in this game. But anyways, I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you have a good one.